Hello everybody. Now, I tried this the other day, and I'm making sure this time that my headset is actually turned on, because yesterday I tried this, and yeah, basically my headset wasn't turned off for like a whole hour, so I deleted the whole video and start again. So here's how this goes. With the this let's talk games thing, is I want to sort of talk about how the industry is, and I also want to talk about how or what games you want to talk about in general. So I do actually have some news as well regarding certain things, such as, and you're gonna not believe this, but about Fortnite. Now, I was watching this this channel, I think it was Jay's Essays, and he was talking about how Fortnite is effectively cannibalizing itself. Now, obviously, I was like, what's he on about? You know, like, what is he talking about? But it turns out he's right. I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago, there was a game called Ark that was released. Ark being a survival, sort of like island-based survival horror game. Well, I say horror game, like dinosaurs and things like that. And you had to basically become self-sufficient. The only problem was, the game is still in beta phase. And the worst part about this is, because the game is still in beta phase, it's never going to progress, because it's had all these offshoots. Now, before Fortnite did it, and before PUBG even did it, Ark had a like sort of King of the Kill sort of battle royale version of the game. And the problem is, it's spawned off a couple of other games in itself that also basically are more popular than the original survival game itself. And what's happened is the main game itself, the survival game, is just basically dead. I mean, of course you can play it, and people still do play it, but it's nowhere near as popular as what it should have been. So this is a big problem for the game. And this is kind of what's happened to Fortnite. For those of you not aware, basically what happens is Fortnite, Save the World, is the original title. You had to pay to play it in early access, and the game does go free in June. But the problem is they released Battle Royale. Now, Epic are known for you know, pushing games and trying to do as best they can. The only problem is, this time they've may have messed up big time, because Battle Royale is the most popular game currently on this machine, and in quite a few machines, and even maybe PC. It's obviously outdone now PUBG, and they're pulling developers from they're putting them from Unreal Tournament, they're putting them from other games that are currently in the works. And the only problem with this is, by pulling them from other studios, you're effectively draining the games of their resources, especially what makes it good. Now, the thing is, Unreal Tournament, as we all know, fantastic game when it came out. I had the privilege of playing it on some of my friends' PCs. I didn't have a PC capable of playing it. Great game, great first-person shooter. The problem is now, of course, they pulled the lead developers from that game into Fortnite to try and keep the, not Save the World, but the Battle Royale updating constantly. And also, I can see what's happening is the player base for Save the World has gone down dramatically, and this was bound to happen. And it's a bit of a shame, because what's going to happen is it's going to disappear. Save the World will disappear inevitably, because the thing is, Battle Royale makes so much money that they do not actually need to have Save the World there anymore. The problem is, they're draining it from other games as well. Like, Paragon's dead. I mean, literally, as of April the 26th, I think it is, that game effectively dies. And that's it's a shame. I enjoyed it, but it's going downhill. Then also you've got what's it? You've got like Unreal Tournament, and you've got Gears of War, and all these other games are now suffering from Epic. See, with Wildcard, who made Ark, it's not really going to affect them too much, because they've got all these other games that are making them money, like all the offshoots of Ark. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if they lose one little thing like Survival Evolved, But if Epic lose things like Gears, Unreal, and other games, that's quite a big, a wad of money. That's a real shame. So a lot of companies are doing it now. It's a bit of a real shame. Anyway, let's see if this is up and running. It's not maybe up and running until 2 o'clock, so I'm just going to keep trying again anyway. Also, there's a couple other things worth mentioning. Gabe Newell's son. Now, I had no idea he even had a son. I know, it's terrible. But yeah, this is what happens. Yeah, I didn't even know he had a son, but apparently he does. And he's spoken out against his dad's company, and it's really, it's quite something. He's basically turned around and said, why aren't we making games? Because obviously, as you know, Valve owns Steam, so they don't technically need to make games anymore. They just keep making things run smoothly and keep up to date on the marketplaces. And whilst they're making a load of money from Steam, they will never need to actually physically create another game. So obviously, the kid of Gabe is very pissed off. He's like 31 years old, and effectively turned around to his dad's company and said, he's a load of old shit. He didn't say it obviously, but that's kind of what he was getting at. He said some of these people here are the best minds in the industry. Some of these people are the best designers you've ever seen, and they're stuck managing a site. And what he's trying to said, you know what, I'm going to make a game. He needs to make something. And I think because, of course, he's grown up and he's obviously a developer himself, computer program, whatever else he does, he could technically take some of those titles, maybe, if you cross your fingers long enough, Half-Life 3 and maybe a Left 4 Dead 3 would be pretty amazing, but I don't see it happening. I see him do something else. And maybe it's time for Gabe to step down. That's my opinion. Maybe he should just hand the company over to his kid, to be honest. I just think sometimes it's probably better to do that. What else? What else can I think of? Well, what was I talking about yesterday? Also the YouTube partnership scheme, yeah. Oh, don't worry about the noise. It's a Mezzaman, might put a carpet in. But, yeah, basically, the YouTube partnership scheme has now completely changed. You now need to do, I think it's, well, you need a lot more views and a lot more subscribers. I think the problem is that I think it's almost a step in the right direction, because it shows who is still actually making videos and who actually bothers to make videos. And, effectively, it weeds out the ones that aren't making videos anymore. And it's probably a good thing. I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to, obviously, have that little bit of leeway, but obviously, it's not going to happen. Bear with me. So what else? So obviously we're talking now about TERA. I don't know if anyone knows anything about TERA. Basically, this is a game that's been rumoured to be hitting the consoles for quite a while now. It's an MMORPG, completely free to play. Obviously, you can buy into the microtransaction side to speed along your progress, but I personally don't recommend doing that. And effectively, you're going to have the option to play as, I think it's like 6 different races and 8 different classes. Now, the races, it doesn't actually matter what race you are in this game. Each character can use the classes, in whatever aspect they want to use. So say like you're for instance, let's use Skyrim as a template, so to speak. in Skyrim, if you choose a wood elf, you're going to be more dexterous. You're going to be good at stealth and good at, I think it's dual wielding or something like that. And that's because it's class specific. And if you're a Nord, you're strength focused and all about power and HP and all this kind of stuff. Great. But in TERA, it doesn't matter. You can be a Papori, which is effectively like a little animal man, and use the biggest weapon in the game. And it'll still retain all the stats from that weapon, it doesn't matter. Or you could be like the I can't remember what they call them, the Barakas or something, there's massive hulking sort of golem people that you can actually choose and select, and you can make them use like a bow. I find it funny, so I'm also going to be having a look at this game today, maybe twice. I might even stream it later on with a couple of other people. We'll see how it goes. So the time is now 22. It's still not 2 o'clock though. Just wondering now what else we can do. What else can I think of that's been in the news recently? Maybe I should write all this down. Oh yeah, there's another bit of information. The Crew 2, however, I'll get back to the Crew 2. The Crew 2 doesn't have an official release date again. It's going to be stuck until, they're saying the second quarter now. So we're looking at between April and like end of September for the Crew 2. So that could be any time, which is a bit of a shame, because I was looking forward to playing that a bit sooner. And also the Song of Life comes out in April, which Yakuza 6, which is going to be fantastic. All the mini games and things in that, as well as the main story, which is going to be absolutely crazy, like usual. And then you've also got coming out is actually it's just been announced, The Division 2. Now, I played The Division 1 in the early state, and it was a bit of a mess. Buggy, laggy, sort of dropping out, falling through the floor kind of mess, you know, enemies spawning up inside vans. And it was kind of, it was a good game, but it had loads of issues. But now, apparently, it's one of the best games you can play on the machine itself. You have to obviously go back and buy it if you haven't already. I suppose it's the advantage of digitally downloading things, but there's the thing. You see, the games had to take time to evolve, and now it's an amazing game. My thought is that if they make Division 2 and keep everything they did from the Division 1 into number 2, unlike certain games who have been recently cocking themselves up, they could be onto a really big thing. I mean, I don't know if we've known about the stigma attached to a certain Bungie game, Destiny. But basically, like, Destiny 1 now, apparently, is an amazing game to play. It took them like 3 years, but it's an amazing game to play. However, Destiny 2, now I bought it, and to start with it was good. I enjoyed it, and I can't moan at the story, and I can't moan at what we had to do it towards the end, apart from the incessant amount of grinding you had to do. Massive amounts of grinding. And the problem is the level cap only gets bigger, so every time you level up, you have to kill like an extra, I think it's like you have to get like an extra 3,000 experience just to level up again to get all them bright engrams. That's a real shame. But see, I reckon Destiny 2 is going to do what Destiny 1 did. Give it another couple of years and it'll be a brilliant game. But what they should have done was learn from Destiny 1 and just implemented everything from 1 into 2. That way you'd have had a fantastic experience from 1 into 2 and it'd been great. Not that that's an issue. I also want to talk about remakes of games as well now. Recently, Dark Souls 3 has been announced and is coming out in May the 3rd. Well, not May the 3rd, I'm not sure what time in May, but it's in May. And I'm hoping that certain companies who remake games do this a very good job. Because let's face it, Shadow Colossus got a hell of a remake. And I'm hoping, if it's the same company, I don't think it is, but if it is, I want them to remake it in a decent style. Michael wants to join my party to talk about games. Okay, well, invite me, I'm sure he'll want to talk. Let's give him a go. Invite. So we'll be having Hybrid Still join, and I'm sure he will have to give his opinion about TERA and other games. Hi, Mike.
How you doing, Al?
All good. We're just talking about games and TERA in general.
Yeah, have you been muted for the last 17 minutes still?
No.
Just quickly, because when I came on, there was nobody talking until I said it, and then your microphone.
It's because there's a man putting a carpet down.
Oh, okay.
And you're echoing.
Oh, for fuck's sake, back in a sec.
Bloody feedback.
All good?
Yeah, I can't hear myself now, so all good.
Fantastic.
So TERA's going live in quarter of an hour.
Yep.
And as I've said already, I think there's like 6 classes to choose from. Well, 6 races, and I think there's 8 classes to actually choose from. It doesn't matter what race you are, because you can use every kind of weapon in the game as any class. So it doesn't really.
So that basically means it's a bit like Final Fantasy 14 online. Where
yeah, I mean you could be like a little Papori thing and like use a huge halberd types or whatever. You know, it doesn't really matter.
No,
it's
that's
always
cool.
good.
I'm looking forward to it because it's had quite a bit of hype. It looks amazing. I mean, the game footage already that's out on YouTube, obviously from like the PC Master Races like videos, does look like a really solid game. So I think it'd be Master Race. But I think it would be a really solid game. I'm gonna give it a go this afternoon as well. Also, I don't know if anybody out there is actually listening that actually is worried, that wants to learn about TERA, but as the beta is out, there's a lot of perks for playing the beta. Like there's extra customizations that's going to be added in, loads of bits and pieces that the developers are giving to you for like stress testing the game on certain days as well. So please look up on their website about that.
That's sort of like a reward, I'd imagine.
Yeah, basically, it's a bit like playing any beta. At the end of the day, you need a reward for, like, you know, all the people that have helped your game develop, and this is their way of saying thank you. So, as said, check out their website for the rewards list, because it's a really good list to have for sort of like an open
Mind
beta.
you, I am a bit suspicious about this at the moment, because even though it's obviously a free-to-play game, and it is going to have its transactions, when I downloaded it this morning, it was 40 odd gigs of data. Now, for a beta, that's it's a bit big for a beta, in my opinion. I think what we're doing is we're downloading the full game in advance of release, and that's what I think is actually happening. Because no beta is 44 gig.
They've opened the game up to get you to level 38, so it's got to have quite an extra tad of the game in it to be able to get to that high.
Yeah.
There is a reward for getting to level 38 by the end of the beta period, so people are going to be rushing through it and getting to a certain point, and obviously not going to be able to level up any further. So I think they've put in a really big chunk of the game so people can explore the world and see what
have they mentioned about carrying anything over, like your progress to the main game?
Let me just check.
Because that's obviously quite an important thing. Because, I mean, you don't want to do all this hard work for nothing. I mean, I know they're giving away things for stress testing it, but it would be nice to actually, you know, keep your progress. Hi, Dark Assassin.
So I'm checking this right now. Oh no, that's
hello, Zombie Boy. Hope everyone's cool. If you have an opinion or anything, or anything games you want to talk about, just hit us up in the chat and we'll try and answer as much as we can.
According to this, no. So what you'll probably end up getting is that your account will be going over from the beta into the proper game. Will probably get a rewards going into that. So going. This is on GameFAQs.com. The first question was, does the save beta from TERA carry over to the main game? And simple answer is no. Servers are wiped straight off the beta. So I assume they've got like a server list of who's in the game and so on. Yeah. And this basically means that your rewards will be shipped to your account when the game goes live properly.
Dark Assassin says hi, and who are you, Mike? Obviously, introduce yourself that way.
Okay, I'm Alex's brother, his older brother. I run my own YouTube channel called Hybrid Steel Gaming. At the moment, I'm streaming things like Doom at night. I do reviews of games. And basically, I sort of do a self-help playlist of things for helping YouTubers get off their feet and maybe help them with certain bits and pieces. I've been doing YouTube for the last, with the Evening Gamers before, it was, 4 years we started that ago? And then I basically went solo because if anything was to blow up on that channel, sort of like it got 1 million subscribers, I didn't really want to go to court and set it all out, so I had to do my own thing. That's where I am. And
I should be doing some more Monster Hunter streams at some point, depending when I get back to doing it. It's not a case of getting bored of it, it's just a case of, like, I've got other things going on at the moment. Also, this game is called TERA, and it's a massively multiplayer online game. It will be free when the actual game comes out. There is a beta for it on the PS4 dashboard.
Nice to meet you.
And please feel free to download it and have a go on it. It's over the weekend. You get rewards for playing it up to level 38, so just keep hammering away at it.
The basic synopsis of TERA itself is, it's if you are familiar with Final Fantasy XIV or any game like that, so it's a massively multiplayer online game. It's going to be one of those sort of, there's going to be a lot of grinding in it, so don't expect the easy way out. Don't expect it to be, oh yes, I've got to level 40, I'm happy. It's going to take you time to get that far, and that's why I assume that the actual thing itself is 40 odd gig instead of just a 4 gig.
A hell of a shock when I turned it on this morning. I was like, a beta for 40 odd gig? I was like, are you kidding? I was just going to take ages.
Because it's the size of a full game.
I
was like, massive. Oh my god, this is going to take it. I think it took me about an hour and a half to download because everybody was trying to download it at the same time.
It only took me 40 minutes because obviously I woke up at like 7 as well. I was like, look, it seems to be on there. I got an email, and then I just started downloading. I was like, 40 minutes, yay! And then it comes up and says, you cannot play this till 2 o'clock this afternoon. And I was like,
when it comes to it, Dark Assassin, I don't think it's going to be like Warframe at all.
It's not.
I would put it more towards the Final Fantasy genre, so you've got your one character running around a huge open world instead of just going from an open world to a mission to a mission to a mission.
Yeah, and Final Fantasy 14, The Realm Reborn, that is, of course.
Yeah, you're looking at more sort of dungeon trawling and things like that, basically.
Neverwinter, maybe, if you want to compare it to something.
Elder Scrolls Online.
But the thing is, there's a couple of games like this coming out this year, like, you've got, obviously, TERA, you've got...
Sand?
Yeah, you've got that as well, and Black Desert is called. That's coming out this year as well.
That's the one. Yeah.
And they're all big MMO titles. Thing is, if you can play these games and get into them, they can be some really amazing games to play. But obviously, it's just spending the time and like ignoring everything else that comes out, and that's like a massive issue for me. So, I mean, I will be playing it as much as I can, but.
Yeah, the downside it's the downside of playing any massively multiplayer game though. It's time consuming. I mean, don't expect to have everything done within a couple of weeks because the developers will just keep updating the servers, missions, and all the other stuff. So you have to be to play games like this. You either have to be truly dedicated and just play TERA, or play a decent amount of it straight away and then sort of come back to it in a couple of weeks and just space your time out.
And Monster Hunter is a great game as well. I completely agree. I played it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I'm still playing it now, but it's taking a bit of a break at the moment. If you're wondering what that bang is, Carpet Man, put his shit down.
I apologise for what sounds like a duck in the background. That's Logan.
It's your son, yes. Also, if anyone else, the question that I'm going to ask everyone who's currently watching is, apart from my personal view of Def Jam Fight for New York, what game would you want to see remade? I mean, if you could think of a game like, we're not talking about the obvious ones like the Call of Duty franchise because they get remade all the time now. But if you were to remake a game like from when you first started playing games, like for me it'd be like Vandal Hearts, like number 1. What would you want to see remade? Yeah, the first one was brilliant.
The first time we started playing games was on the Master System.
Yeah, but no one's going to remake Ghost House, are they? Or Brian the Snail.
So basically, one of your treasured games. So, I mean, for me, if there was a remake of Def Jam, I think we would lose our shit because that game was amazing.
Def Jam Fight for New York, to be more specific.
Yeah.
Not that funny icon crap they released like on the Xbox 360.
Later on, that was horrible.
that was terrible. I don't know
I
what they were
would
thinking.
I would like to see a proper relaunch of Road Rash. I know they've tried Road Redemption and the other one, but I just didn't think they were exactly the same game.
Well, the one that was released on here wasn't the one I was talking about a while ago.
No.
The one that I was talking about was released on PC, and I think it is coming to console at some point. But that is more like Road Rash than...
Oh, that's the one that's called Road Rage.
Yeah, well... The original Assassin's Creed, I don't know. Assassin's Creed 1 was great, but my problem is it's still being made, and
I think that's my issue, because it's still an ongoing franchise. If you were just to remake the first one, it'd be like, oh, they're trying to get more money out.
When they did the Ezio collection, basically they remade 2 Brotherhood and Revelations. So, yeah. I mean, they're in my eyes, number 2 and Brotherhood are the best ones out of all of them anyway. Currently, I don't like number 3. I played number 3 for about 2, maybe 3 hours, and then went, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Could you really go back to not being able to swim though? That would be the big question.
That would piss me off. Just drowning every 5 seconds, jumping from pillar to pillar to shit, slipped. Oh, I'm drowning.
Oh, I'm in the water. Oh, I can't get out.
And Altair's accent. He's very British, isn't he?
He's a very British Turkish person.
Not bad for a Turkish bloke, you know. But yeah.
So yeah, it's now it's just sort of the waiting game for TERA to start up, and
I'm so impatient. We keep tapping the button.
The thing is, I've actually got things to do, but it's quite close to TERA's release, and it's like, do I go out quickly, get my shit done, and then come back and then play it?
Well, I was going to play Tekken 7, but then I thought, but TERA's going live at 2, I might want to give that a go first. I was like, yeah, goodbye Tekken for a little while, I think.
Well, it's goodbye everything for a couple of days at least.
Yeah.
The worst part is I've got to tie this in to still streaming Doom, because I still haven't finished that yet.
Yeah, well, I intend to hold this kind of thing on a weekly basis to let's talk about games. What I'm trying to do is almost get a schedule together of what things I'm actually streaming. So, like, I'm going to try on a Monday or Tuesday to carry on, like, doing the series stream of Secret of Mana, and then the next game, obviously, it'll be on those 2 days, then it'll be a series stream on those 2 days. And then, like, a Thursday or a Friday, I'll be talking about games like now.
If this helps you at all, do what I did. First off, write down the things that you do on a bit of paper, right? And then figure out when you can stream these. And then in your About section on your channel, which people read, put your schedule in there. So if people come onto your channel and go, oh, it's the About section. Oh, it's got his channel.
I just haven't got around to putting down specific dates, because obviously I have lots of things to do. 2 Great Brother, 1 was... 3 was shite, I agree. Black Flag, I unfortunately didn't get around to playing it due to the fact that I was so disappointed with 3 that I just assumed Black Flag was going to be shit, and everyone was like, it's amazing! And I was like, shit.
Black Flag was, in my opinion, Black Flag was a good sort of, like, after the fail of number 3, Black Flag was really good.
I love how Dark's written, like, Unity felt weird. Brilliant. And Syndicate, I thought Syndicate was fun as well, because it was almost like a different take on it. Of course, they've expanded on the whole sort of leveling up thing into Origins now. I personally still, again, haven't played Origins, on the basis that it's more like an RPG now rather than an assassination game. and you use your bird to scope out things. It kind of annoys me.
Dark, if you like Black Flag and you think it was amazing, I don't know if did you watch anything to do with E3 or the Paris Convention last year? Ubisoft announced a game called Skull and Bones, which is basically the ship version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's all ship combat, but it looks like Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Customise your boat and blow the boat up.
Yeah, I signed up. Sorry about that. I signed up to the beta of it last year when it was first announced, and it might. If you like Black Flag, then you probably will like that game.
Yeah. Oh, we've got like 2 minutes left according to my laptop. What's the actual time? Because I don't trust my laptop.
The actual time is 5 to 2 by me.
No, that means we've got an extra 3 minutes to wait. No, my phone says 7 minutes to.
Okay. I've got that pamphlet thing that I had earlier. What did you give me? Okay.
Terrible. Completely forgot about Origins. Again, I can't judge because I haven't played Origins or Oranges as people call
Alex,
it.
stop pushing the button. It's not going to start any faster.
What do I stream?
12:24. Where are you?
Oh yeah, well it must be.
That's an hour behind us. So you're
France?
in the middle of the sea by that.
France, maybe?
No, they're ahead of us.
Oh yeah. What? Ireland?
12? No, because they're in the same. So they're in the same time zone as us.
Iceland?
Next. Maybe.
Not sure.
This is why it's better. You need to know your audience, Alex.
Well, it says 84% of them are British.
Yeah.
So we can get
not,
on our head round.
Not the other 16%.
Yeah.
12:24 would put you in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So
Yeah.
an interesting one.
Yeah, that's quite late. Yeah. Might be a nightmare for you lot then. Waiting to play TERA. 2 o'clock, Sammy.
I will play it on my dinghy.
Yeah. I remember I used to play Halo 3, and it used to have like the map, sort of like who's online, and there'd be this one man like in the middle of the ocean, and all you think he's on like a mobile oil derrick or something, playing his Xbox. One little light goes on in the middle of the sea.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang around until you're able to boot into TERA.
Oh,
right?
it's 2 o'clock with the laptop.
According to my clock, it's 5:02. Right? According to my laptop, it's 4 minutes to. Right? According to my phone, it's 4 minutes to. Alex, it's 4 minutes to.
But I've been waiting for this game since last year when they said it was coming to console.
Right. What I'm going to do is when the game goes live, and because I've got your stream in front of me, if that clicks in and you're actually loading into TERA, I'm going to leave you to it because I've got to go to the bank and I've got to do a few bits and pieces first.
That's cool.
But when I come back, I'll play it for a bit, and then in the evening, I'm going to be streaming this as well. I don't know if you are as well.
I will be for a couple hours.
We'll spread the love for TERA because it's a good way of like.
We helped you win the war. Everybody helps win the war because the French let the Germans through. We all know that. No, not being horrible at all. But yeah.
So where is he from? On monitor.
Into the bank. He says you're going to the bank. Take me with you.
No, I actually got my first tax refund for like the last 10 years. Which is nice. So I'm going to buy a new baseball glove and I'll be all happy. Or a tattoo. I'm not sure. A tattoo or baseball glove.
Earlier I had mentioned about the whole like Fortnite thing as well, eating itself to death and everything. Yeah,
it's a shame that that's how it's going, but they had a really good building platform, the PvE aspect of things. It's just unfortunately because the PvP is so much more addictive that people want out of a game, they're going to slowly shut down the PvE section. Also,
here's another bit of information I forgot to mention it earlier, but what's also happening is that they're trying to make. So I told you this last night, Mike. They're trying to make the Battle Royale, and PUBG are doing it as well, trying to make it into an e-sport. And now, I don't know of your views on this, but I don't think it's going to happen because Battle Royale works in such a way that it's random. So when you drop in, it's random what you get item-wise.
Yeah.
There's just no way you're actually going to be able to make a level playing field. And that's where esports are spawned from. Everyone starts off even, and then you can then have a decent fight between a level playing field. Like Gears of War, obviously it's EA still. You start off with a machine gun and a shotgun, and you had to fight for the extra weapons on the map if you wanted them. But you see, with Battle Royale, I don't think you can do it. It's not possible. Unless they made a specific map where the two teams have to drop in a certain area and made the terrain exactly the same in both areas, could they do it? I don't think it's possible otherwise. You're 75% Australian, 10% Irish, and the rest is unknown. Oh well, good luck trying to find out what that is. I do not know.
For me, it's the only way that they could launch things like PUBG or any game like a Battle Royale mode is to start you off with a basic gun. That is the only way that they could do it, because then everybody starts as an equal platform.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same with like League of Legends. The reason why that's an esport is because of how you start.
Yeah, but you see, if you do that with Battle Royale, it will become less about the randomization, more about a team deathmatch situation, and then it will definitely lose what it is. It will not be what it is.
You can't make a Battle Royale game into an esport. Unless you change the rules of the Battle Royale. Simple, really.
Yeah, it's a bit mental.
Yeah, according to my laptop, it's 2 o'clock, Alex.
Well, I'm pushing the button. Mind you, it's taking a long time to register me pushing the button.
It's because you've got like loads of people all around the world sitting there going, I can push the button as well.
Yeah, I can push the button. Push it now. It'll work fine. No. Fun fact, I have my family sword on my wall. Irish ancestors, it's over 300 years old. I bet it's worth quite a very shiny penny as well.
If I load this up and be able to go straight in, then Alex can't, it's because he has to restart the game. So.
Yeah, you were talking about you need money. You got a sword on the wall that's over 300 years old. Actually, here we go. We're going in, I think. That's terms and conditions. Oh, do I have to? Oh, well, I'm not reading through all that crap. I'll just get through that. Play. Why are it working, Mike? Play.
I don't know.
Play. Can you get in?
No, it just says unknown error message type blah blah blah, invalid format.
Give me a second. I'm gonna